Hello and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll recap another busy week for Ferris State Volleyball, along with Bulldog Football and Bulldog Hockey. We'll start first with Bulldog Volleyball, and joined by head coach Tia Brandel-Wilhelm. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Another busy week for your team and another successful week. Started off with a match on the road at Davenport last Tuesday, and then came back for a couple big matches at home against Saginaw Valley and Lake Superior.
Yep, it was. It was a good week. It definitely was. Being on the road and then home and get that 3 matches in a week is a lot. But I think we're weathering through it well.
Obviously, your team continues to play well, 17-0, and ranked in the top 5 in the country. And I know those rankings don't mean a whole lot, but they certainly bring some great recognition to the program.
Yeah, they bring great recognition, and it's a nice compliment to the players and the work that they've done. It's just, that's not what we're fighting for, but it's a nice recognition of the work that they're doing for sure.
Before we get to the match against Saginaw Valley on Friday, how challenging does it make the week when you played that early week match against Davenport and then had to turn right back around and play a couple home matches?
Yeah, it just means that it's harder to get better as a team because you're not ever really practicing. You're always just getting ready, doing the scout, getting ready for the next game, and you're resting a lot more. So for us, we've been able to this year do what we call some EDT, so extra development time, where we have some of the younger players in, and they get an extra hour a week, and that's really been a big thing. Like, we've just seen a lot more progress. The level of playing the gym is just a lot higher because of that.
As we go to the highlights against Saginaw Valley on Friday night, nice to be back at home for the second straight weekend after a lot of matches on the road.
Yeah, it was great to be back at home. It was a fun crowd. A lot of our athletes were on the road, but we had a really good support from the community, and it was just a really, it was an electric crowd and definitely exciting.
Saginaw Valley State, one of those teams that, regardless of the record, they're going to come in and really challenge you.
For sure. They have, they have a new coach this year, and she took over a little bit late in August, but she's just done a really nice job developing the team, and, they're just such a better team than they were like 2 weeks ago. So I feel like their record doesn't really reflect where they are as a team right now.
Got a big win in the first set, but they came back in the second set. I think had a lead here at one point, and your team had to kind of play from behind a little bit here in the second frame.
Yeah, I thought we, maybe dropped our level of play and had to make a few adjustments to things that we were doing. But I was happy to see that we were able to make those adjustments. And I thought a big part of it was just, trying to put our hitters in better position to take more aggressive swings.
Obviously, here over the course of the match, you were able to work in a lot of different kids in different roles that saw some significant playing time.
Yeah, it was good. We have some players that, are going to play in certain positions, and we don't always get them opportunities to be out there. And this weekend, I thought it was nice to have that opportunity to get, some players that are like those first kids off the bench. In volleyball, it's a little harder to sub than, basketball. You can get everybody 5 minutes or something like that. And it's just a little bit harder. So this was a great match for us to get those players in and next to the people that they'd be playing next to in a game and really have some significant opportunities.
After you win the first 2 sets, how important is it to maybe win that third set and give yourself maybe a little extra preparation time going into the following day?
I think it probably is, but it's not even ever what we're thinking about. Like, we're just, every time we play, we're just trying to do our best in that point. And of course, trying to do the things we can to win that point and then move on to the next point.
Obviously, you get a big win here in this third set to beat Saginaw Valley State here in this match, and nice to get a big conference win at home. And I know conference wins are tough to come by, and you like to get as many of those as you can here early on.
We're just happy, anytime that we can put together a good effort that results in a win. I think that's a mark for us. We're happy with that.
Of course, on Saturday you had to come back, took on Lake Superior. That's been one of the programs that's really improved a lot over the recent years.
Yeah, their coach has been there about 3-4 years, and he's done a really nice job. They play with a great deal of speed and intensity, and they're very pursuitful on defense. So it definitely becomes a bit of a dogfight when you play them.
Now that you're in your second year here in Bulldog Arena, does this feel like it's kind of becoming home for your players?
It is for sure. Like, we've spent enough time in there. But this weekend, the last couple, like being home this year, it felt like the old arena too. There was just like the crowd was there, and I feel like it's a great place to watch a game, to be a fan of the sport, because you're pretty close to the action. You don't have a lot in between you and the court, and you just really get to see the physicality of the game, and you can really enjoy the efforts of the players. So I think our fans, the energy that they bring makes it feel, like our home place.
Got off to a fast start, big win in the first set, and nice to kind of get that first set under your belts as you move into the second set.
Yeah, I think this is another game where we were able to, in each set, get a few different players into positions that they'll play in game situations. So again, it was a good opportunity.
What did you feel like your team did well here in this match against Lake Superior?
I thought the serve and pass game was pretty good. We definitely, were able to take them out of system because they really have some pretty lethal hitters. But we just were able to make them really uncomfortable by serving in a way that their setter was running off the net quite a bit, and then it just made it a little bit harder for their hitters to get in rhythm. So I definitely think the serving game was a big part of that, and a lot of that's the assistant coaches are calling those serves and scouting all the information to make the right calls for that.
Obviously a win in the second set, and got a number of kids that some of those seniors that have played a lot for you that are really closing in on some big milestones. I think Kaylee Mott just went over 5,000 career assists and closing in on becoming the all-time leader in that category.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I so need to be more aware of that. But yeah, I mean that's pretty amazing to get over, 2,000 assists in your career is kind of a big deal for a setter. But Kaylee's been in this leadership role for this is her 5th season, 4th and a half. Can we count that first season as a half? And she's been able to be at the helm and that's given her an opportunity too. So to get over 5,000 is pretty amazing.
Obviously this week you step away from conference play, but a challenging week as you take part in one of the largest college volleyball tournaments in the country in the regional crossover.
The regional crossover, the Midwest regional crossover, 3 conferences, so there's 45, 46, 48 teams there, and you're seeded in there. So you're playing team, like the topper seeds play each other and the middle seeds play each other, and these results go a lot towards how the committee decides which teams from our region will go towards, into the NCAA tournament. It's not everything, but it's a big part of the decision because you get so much crossover play. It's a huge tournament. We're going to have probably, between the 3 conferences, probably maybe 10, 11 teams that are ranked in the top 25 or in that getting votes area throughout the season. So I think it's going to be a really tough tournament, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Certainly some competitive teams. Maybe talk about the opponents this weekend for your team and what the challenge is going to be.
Yeah, so on Friday we'll play Maryville from the Great Lakes Valley Conference and Northwood from the GMAC Conference, who we just played a few weeks ago, so that's always going to be an interesting challenge. And Maryville we don't have much history with, so that'll be new for both of our teams, I think. And then depending on the results on Friday, we get reseeded into games on Saturday. So that's an interesting part of the tournament. You don't know who you're going to play on that last day until about 9 o'clock that night. So it's it elicits the idea of like postseason play, which is, I think, makes it really hard, but also really interesting and fun.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. Congrats
Absolutely.
on the great start so far this year, and
Thank
best
you.
of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.